Hi, my name is Martin Jovanovic. I'm a drum teacher, and in this video I'm going to be reacting to and analyzing a live drum cam video of George Kollias, drummer of Nile, performing the song Laying Fire upon APUB. Before I start with this video, I want to give a big shout out again to the guys at blastology.net, especially Kenny. Those videos were a big inspiration back in the days, and I'm going to link his YouTube channel underneath in the description so you can check out his live drum cam videos as well. And finally, a big shout out to George Kollias, an amazing drummer and huge inspiration for all of us. Alright. As you can see here, he is using Axis A longboards. Right now he's using his signature Axis models, but back in the days, this video is like 8 or 9 years old. He's using the regular Axis A longboards. VDL is around the middle, a bit to the front. He's using Tama Iron Cobra beaters and high spring tension, extremely high spring tension. I wouldn't recommend this spring tension for anyone who is just starting out playing double bass, because number one, you have to constantly fight against the spring. Number two, you need a lot of power to push down the pedal. And number three, it's really hard to learn to control your calf muscles at higher tempos if you're constantly working against such a tight spring. But obviously, as you can see, for George, it works out as well. It works out perfectly fine for him. And one more thing, he's using Axis E-Kit triggers in this video. Alright, so let's talk about his hand technique for a bit. George is using some kind of French grip, American grip, somewhere in between that. He holds the stick with his index finger, his middle finger and his thumb, just like this, but he's also using a bit of fingers when he's playing. You can see that with the left hand. So it's a small wrist turning motion, so a lot of wrist involvement with his playing, but also a little bit of fingers. And one thing that he does is that he sticks out his arm like this. So it's still regular French grip, but his arms are not beside his body, they are out there. That's pretty much it. As you can see here, his left foot is not moving, he's playing single foot blasts all the time. So his right foot is following his right hand and playing eighth notes and the song is at 128, so 205 eighth notes at 256 beats per minute. As you can see here, he's leaning forward a bit. He's applying pressure from his upper leg and his calf muscles. His hip flexors are not actively assisting the motion at these high tempos, so it's not an up and down motion from the hip flexor. Everything is generated by his calf muscles and the swivel technique, plus a bit of a contraction from your upper legs. And he leans forward. This way you got even more pressure on the pedal. Somewhere I read a comment about George's double bass playing, and someone was complaining about the beater distance at higher tempos. But to be honest, he's playing well above 250 BPM. He still hits really hard, especially in comparison to other drummers. So I wouldn't critique him on that. He's doing an awesome job. He's hitting so hard all the time, snare and tom fills. Now let's talk a bit about his foot technique and the swivel technique. During the last years, his swivel technique seemed to change a bit, because if you watch some YouTube clips online, you will see that there are some videos where he's playing with regular heel up with his right foot, no swiveling at all, but with the left foot he's swiveling extremely, a big swivel motion from side to side with one stroke per side. In this example, he's swiveling with both feet, right foot and left foot, but it doesn't look like really a fast swivel motion. like this, it looks like he's playing 2 notes per side. So swiveling in for 2 notes, swiveling out for 2 notes. I don't think that's a conscious decision. I think the swivel technique is just assisting him in performing at that high speeds and at that high BPMs. But one thing that's really interesting is right now in this example, when he's swiveling, his left foot is copying what his right does. Now let's dissect his swivel technique a bit. His right foot swivels out. Then his left foot is not swiveling in, it's swiveling out as well. So it's actually mirroring what the right foot does. Then the right foot is swiveling in again, the ankle is swiveling in again, and the left foot also goes to the inside. So his swivel technique looks like this. Out, out, in, out, in, out, in. For other drummers like Grim Lechner, he does it the opposite way. So if his right foot, his right ankle is swiveling to the outside, the left foot is actually following the right foot and swiveling to the inside. And then right foot swivels to the inside and left foot to the outside. So his technique looks like this. Out, in, out. Out, in, out. Alright, enough theory on the swivel technique. The tom fills, that's really interesting. You know, he hits really hard with the toms as well. So it's not like that he loses power. Toms, you get less rebound from the toms, so you actually have to work harder. But he's not losing any power at all when it comes to the tom fills. Nice. It's also interesting, during all his tom fills, when he's playing like a 16th note tom fill like this, it's just single stroke, sorry. But he's always following with his right foot. So his right foot is playing quarter notes and his hands are playing single stroke 16th notes. There are 2 big advantages when it comes to accompanying a tom fill with the quarter note kick drum. Number 1 is if the sound on stage is not that good and, for example, your bandmates are not able to hear your tom fills, it's going to be easier for them to follow because they still hear the quarter notes with your kick drum. The kick trigger is going to be loud enough. The other thing, if you follow along with the quarter notes, it also gets this forward drive. So the fill is like not losing power, it's like still pushing forward all the time. At this point, the high spring tension is like really a pain in the ass because you can see it in this short clip that he really has to stomp from the hi-hat to the kick pedal. It's not like that it's like a smooth transition because he constantly has to work against this high spring, has to stomp really hard to get a good sound of it. But this foot pattern in combination with the side snare and the open and closing of the hi-hat sounds amazing. Did you see the stick catch? Let's watch that again. Nice. Again, he's leaning forward a bit, but not a lot. Also, when he's playing double bass, you can clearly see that his hip joint is always a bit higher than his knee joint. This tempo you can see that his right bass drum beater, his right foot and his right bass drum beater is returning a bit further back in comparison to the left one. He has this concept of leading foot, a strong and weak foot in his new book, Odyssey of Double Bass Drumming. So make sure to check that one out as well to get some more information about that topic. And again, tom fills just sound great. Quarter note kick drum. Yeah, great video, great drumming from George, amazing. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Remember, if you want a certain video to be next on this YouTube channel, comment below and send me the link as well of the YouTube video that you want. Thanks a lot for watching my videos. Cheers from Vienna. Bye.